Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, hi, hello, welcome. My name is Kyla and today we have a very special different kind of video. I am primarily a doll collecting channel. Yes, these are mine, they've taken over my life. This is how it goes. But today we're going to be talking about my visual impairment. October is Blindness Awareness Month, and if you did not know, I am legally blind. The eye condition I was born with is called septo-optic dysplasia with optic nerve hypoplasia and nystagmus. Don't ask me how to spell it because I don't know. I mean, I probably do, but you know what? It's just a lot of really big words. That basically means that the optic nerve and my brain, my optic nerve is not fully developed, so it can't send anything to the brain that says you're seeing this. So yeah. I'm a little bit unique in more ways than one, honestly, but today we're just focusing on the visual aspect because a part of this, the channel was honestly started for me to spread awareness about my disability. Well, I rediscovered doll collecting and they took over, and again, like I said, this is just how my life is now, but I would not trade them for the world because I finally realized that my purpose in life is to educate people in all the different ways, you know, other people live, and if I could just shed some awareness on things, it would be really, really helpful and great. So that's what I've decided the Lord put me on this earth for, so that's what we're doing. A lot of the times I will say this is how I see these dolls through my eyes, because believe me, I have gotten tons of rude comments, not only here, but in the real world, which I will share a couple with you just because it pertains to the story. So, again, optic nerve, not fully developed. That's the first part. The nystagmus is probably the most obvious and the one that gets me into the most awkward, uncomfortable situations. Nystagmus is the dancing of the eyes. If you notice, my eyes move all over the place. I can't control it. My sister and I were trying to figure out the other day. She's like, can you actually roll your eyes? And I'm like, no, I can't. So we were literally trying to force me to roll my eyes, and I can't do it. So I have had people say to me, you might want to make eye contact, or why aren't you looking at me? Are your eyes always that funny? You know, just really crazy stuff that I would never say to anyone in the world. So why do people think it's okay to say stuff like that to me or anyone with any type of physical or mental disability? Like, why? So it's the nystagmus. My eyes just move all the time. And honestly, people ask me, if you could correct your vision, would you? No, because I have lived on this earth for almost 27 years with it, and it's part of why my purpose on this earth. And if the Lord wanted me to be this way, this is how he made me, and we're gonna push through. But if I could correct the nystagmus to prevent me from those awkward encounters, I would definitely do it. I do get comments on here. Sometimes I got one just the other day, and it was actually a polite comment, so thank you to that person. They were like, I don't mean to be rude, but you have nystagmus. And I was like, oh my gosh, because it's so cool when somebody actually knows your actual medical terminology. And I was like, yes, I do. I have videos on it. So hopefully they're watching this one. If you are, hi, thank you for your polite comment. I really appreciate it. So yeah, the nystagmus is, it's really annoying. But the other part, I've learned to live like this, okay? And this is just me. Take it or leave it, I guess. So again, I was born in January 97. I'm the first of 3 kids. So when you are new parents in the 90s, where the internet is relatively new and your child has this, I don't want to say rare, but it's not like, I don't know very many other people who have this condition. I know a couple through support groups and things like that, but a lot of my friends that have eye conditions, none of us have the exact same eye condition. So I can't imagine how my parents were feeling. Basically, I started off in private school, like a hands-on private school, just because my parents thought that would be better. However, I did eventually go to public school and I made it through just fine. I went to college, you know, and everyday struggles did happen, okay? I had a ton of classroom accommodations, but I was able to go sit in the front row and learn just like a quote unquote normal student. I use the word normal hesitantly because what the heck even is normal? No one really knows. So basically, really quickly, a rundown of my accommodations in school. It's kind of basically how I get along, like around in the world today. A lot of the stuff I used then, I use now, but very minimal. So I was a Braille reader up until middle school. Then I chose to be a sighted reader. So I got everything in large print. The Kyla copies were massive. They had to be folded in half. And my textbooks, depending on how big and thick the actual normal sized font textbooks were, I had like English books that were split into like 6 different copies. So I would keep like the one that we were reading out of in my locker, and then the other 5 would be in the English teacher's classroom because I couldn't fit all those in my little locker. And sometimes I would have to have 2 books because half the story was in here and half the story was in here. It was an ordeal. Eventually, I graduated to using textbooks on the iPad. As far as like note-taking and things like that, I used telescope glasses. They were glasses with telescopes in the lenses, and I would look up at the board or the assembly or the movie that was going on or whatever, and then I would have to look down and write everything. Eventually, we decided, let's give her a hard copy of the notes or the PowerPoint. So I read it, I wrote it, and then I heard it as the teacher was discussing it to the class. So those are kind of the necessary things that I did use. I also had a Zooming program on the school computer, so that whenever we went in there to do computer work in the computer lab, I had a specific program on my specific computer, and I also had larger letter keys on the keyboard. I just remembered that because my current computer I don't use that. I have like it lights up, the keyboard lights up. So that was something wow, that was a real blast from the past there. But I was really good. I had an incredible visual impairment teacher. I had really great teachers to accommodate me. For the most part, everybody did an incredible job. So I had a great school district, and I had a really good college experience professor-wise. A lot of them were absolutely incredible, and they did definitely go out of their way to accommodate me. And for college, I had a special guest with me, but we will get to that in a moment. Along with visual impairment instructing, I also had to have orientation and mobility instructing, O&M. And so I had an instructor who introduced me to the white cane. Basically, this instructor, this is a person who helps teach you how to navigate in the public, like at street crossings and around like traffic cones and things like that, and then like in the store and stuff like that. So I was introduced to the white cane, and there's a couple different tactics you can use with the white cane when walking and things like that. However, I primarily use my white cane for identification purposes. Do I use it when I go out every day? No, I do not. I didn't for about 8 years because I had a guide dog with me, but I used it up until college. The summer I graduated high school, I was accepted into Leader Dogs for the Blind in Rochester, Michigan. So I went there for the entire month of June. I got paired up with Winter, and we lived our best life as college students. And then we bought our first house together. So she has been here through so many important milestones in my adult life. I would not have gone to college without her. We lived on campus together. Everybody there loved her because, like there weren't animals on campus. So she was super popular, and she's just the sweetest. Now, she did retire this past summer, but I did choose to keep her, so don't worry, she's not going anywhere. You probably won't see her in a lot of videos because she's old and enjoying her retirement. But yes, Winter is still here with me. So the dog is no longer working. Do I take my white cane? I do. I use it specifically for identification purposes. Now, I have enough vision to where I could see something, like for the most part. Sometimes I do run into stuff, I'm not gonna lie to you. But if I'm walking around a store, pretty much, I always go somewhere with someone, so I'm never by myself. But I primarily use it in airports, concert venues, super crowded places, because it definitely, I don't like big crowds. I can't stand them, oh my God. But I go to concerts because I will battle crowds for Taylor Swift. I will do it. But it just provides like a good distance between the people, and it also serves as, okay, I see this cane here. Some people call it a stick. Maybe that's why this person is taking forever at the checkout, because I also take it to checkouts because I have had some rude cashiers when I have to look down and type in my PIN and find where the chip goes and everything, like rude. And so I always have it out for checkouts because like I just don't, it's just really awkward and rude, and I shouldn't have to feel that way. I should not get anxiety when I go to check out at Barnes & Noble, but I do. So I use it for serious identification purposes. It's also just to keep me safe and things like that. So yeah, the white cane, it's an interesting thing. You guys will never see it here because like I don't really film outside the doll room, but you know what, it's, again, this video is a little bit different. So those are kind of the tools and things I use to exist in my everyday life. Also, I get a lot of questions about my job. What do you do for a living? Well, I work for my family's business and we are a medical boutique, and I am basically the office assistant / inventory specialist. So I do whatever I need to do to make sure the ladies have everything and all the tools they need to do their job efficiently. Behind the scenes, I place the orders, I unpack the orders, I put all the inventory away. So that's kind of me. Behind the scenes, where I don't have to deal with people, A+, great job. That's me, that's where I thrive, because again, with the eye contact issue with my Nystagmus, it's just super, super anxiety inducing to be upfront and actually communicate with that many people on a daily basis. I try to answer questions as best I can, especially from the doll collector's point of view, because I do get a lot of questions like, can you see the fine details? And most of the time, no. On my smaller scale dolls, I really can't. And it doesn't bother me unless somebody's like, oh my gosh, your doll's lips are chipped, or your doll has a shine mark on her nose, or whatever. I don't see it. If I can't see it, it doesn't bother me. If I can't see it and I don't mention it, please don't point it out, because then I probably will be able to see it and it will drive me absolutely insane. So I can imagine this video is really long. Here's an example for you. I cannot see how long I've been recording for from this distance. I also cannot see if my hair is going crazy, which I assume it probably is. I need to get my hair done, but that's besides the point. So I can't see that. I cannot see that at all. Across from us right now are my smaller scale dolls and also my record collection. I am looking at my Taylor Swift Eras Tour poster that I got from my concert. And if I didn't know what it said on the bottom half, I would not be able to tell you what it said. So I can't read like street signs and things like that. I will never be able to drive, which is okay with me, because like driving and other drivers gives me ridiculous anxiety. So I'm okay with that. So I really just try to say as much information as I can to make other people aware of this. And this doll community has been so incredibly accepting and kind to me. And I'm kind of nervous introducing myself to new people because I am unique in a lot of ways. And this isn't me bragging, like I'm just generally a really unique human being. And so I get kind of nervous making new friends and things like that. And also, if we're out in public and I meet someone new, the Nystagmus comes into play and I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I'm very nervous doing a lot of new things. I do not like change. So coming into this, I was very confident. I'm like, you know what, let's just be myself. And a lot of people ask me, do you have any advice for starting a YouTube channel? As corny as it sounds, be yourself, because the people on the other side of that camera are going to be able to tell if you are faking your personality and you're trying to be something that you're not. So I just try to be myself, and that's why I try to put as many little sprinkles of information about my eye condition as I can in every video. Sometimes there will be a couple, sometimes there won't be any, but there's always going to be little elements of the SOD, ONH, and Nystagmus in my videos, if that makes sense. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to ask. If you want to comment here, or if you do not want your comment to be seen, you can always email me. My email replies tend to go to your spam folders. So if you've ever emailed me and you think I haven't replied, trust me, I have. They just apparently go to your spam folder. So with all of that being said, like I said, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. No question is too rude. I've got some pretty thick skin and I will answer accordingly. If you have not already, give this video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button to join the fam, and tap that really cool notification bell so you know the exact moment I post a new video. Have a blessed day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye, everybody.